Then let's roll. I like to cover quick tips. People are always trying to navigate our different systems in our website. So to see all the programs available in each month, like all the classes we have on a standing schedule, if you search in our upper hand platform, the events tab by month, you just search September, that'll show you everything we have going on in September. It's all tagged the same way. And you can also search under specific categories. So like if you want to see the next 3 months of our footwork course, for instance, you could search footwork. Or if you want to see all of our 3x3 leagues and our tournaments, you can search 3x3. And furthermore, as you'll see as we go through each program I'm going to be talking about, we also have more prominent info pages on our actual website. So if you search /confidence, that'll take you to the confidence formula, or /footwork will take you to our footwork kind of info page that just tells you everything you need to know about what it's about and what it looks like, what the costs are, what the schedule is, and so forth.
Nice.
So next up, I like to talk about kind of this map of where our different programs sit. So this is something I developed over a few years of kind of the phases of a player, what they go through from about second grade all the way up through high school. And so we name our programs following kind of this model. So we have an exploration league for our 7 to 10-year-olds.
Even if
We
it's
have
just your
our
name
ignition league for a
where
lot
you
of our sixth, seventh,
represented
eighth
your
grade
area.
guys. And we have our 4 week focus series. It's now 7 courses that are all based around like 11, 12 years old, going toward, seventh, eighth grade, really where they've had enough experience. They need to drill down and focus on really building out skills more specifically. And then confidence is really where we start to pick up, end of seventh grade, going toward eighth grade, going toward high school. Our confidence formula and our confidence warranty are kind of building that on ramp toward high school. And then last, we call it ambition, where maybe you're in high school and you start to raise your aspiration for yourself. Like maybe college basketball could be something in my future. And so, like, I want to not just be happy staying at the high school level, I want to keep growing and being ambitious about what that future looks like. And then next we have our SOX rating system. I threw up our picture of player from Spalding High School in Rochester. Noah O'Brien is his name, and he's one of the few and the proud that just earned his black socks. So this is like our black belt in karate. He just did our most intense evaluation that I've been tweaking over the years. He actually helped me validate some of my metrics that we measured by being a varsity player and actually reaching the black sock level. So proud moment for both of us. And he got to take some actual socks home, although he was wearing all black. So I realized after the photo they're kind of blended in. Can't see him that well. But basically, the map I just showed you with that circle format is kind of overlaid on this, where players are moving up these levels with our different sock colors. And so by far the majority of our players find us in the green sock, maybe yellow sock if they're inexperienced, maybe blue sock if they're a little more experienced, but they tend to be in this category when they first find us. And so we're often working on that transition. What does it take to go from green to blue? Okay, now you're blue. What do we need to work on to get you to a high school freshman ready level and keep moving you up that chain? So the confidence formula is kind of become the flagship program for us where we do our best work. Kind of it's my baby that I put everything into and I keep doing iterations and changing things and improving it over time. And it's really where I have the most fun coaching and where we see the best results. And so the basic package here is offered in 2 different formats now. So we have the group format that runs kind of 3 times a year, and it's going to be Tuesday and Thursday this fall, starting September 2nd. For 7th and 8th grade boys, we have 6 to 7 p.m. 9th and 10th grade boys will be 7 to 8 p.m. And again, we have some room for I guess gray area around each of these groups, kind of based on skill level. So if they were a blue or a purple sock, but they're in 8th grade, we're probably going to pull them up into the 9th and 10th grade group. Just try to keep that challenge appropriate for them. And then we also have it in an individual basis. So we can customize the schedule. We'll do a one-on-one session where we're breaking down the skill for that module of the week. And then we'll pull them into a group to compete either on Saturday or Sunday, where they can get kind of the second half of what the group would normally do is 2 nights a week, doing a breakdown night and a competition night. we're kind of more fluid with our individual, we can plug them into a couple different groups and try to get the right level competition so that they still get both aspects. Kind of my favorite recipe is a breakdown and a competition each week. So this is an $1,800 package. We are about to raise pricing. We offer some payment plans if that is needed. It's going to be going up to $19.99 on the payment plan after August 20th. We'll still have the $1,800 package if you want to pay up front. You get that as a discount. And the URL for this one, probably our most fleshed out info page, has videos and testimonials and like everything you ever wanted to know, and probably more than you wanted to know from my brain about what this program is about. And that's at playpracticebasketball.com/confidence. Next, we have the confidence warranty, which is really designed for the players after they graduate that 12 weeks. This is kind of what is next to maintain progress and keep them going. So this is where a lot of our best high school players live through their high school years, year round during off season, and we support them mostly off the court. So we're doing a lot of game film analysis on an individual basis. We're taking video from their school if they have a capture system, or from the parent on the sideline, or from our workout clips if we don't have anything else. And we're voicing it over, feeding it back to them, talking about decisions, just kind of building on the rapport we've got. And then we're texting them 3 times a week, just asking them questions, getting them thinking about some of the concepts we've worked on, and also gathering intel like, hey, how did last night's practice go? What are you thinking about going into tonight's game? Like, kind of just using that to build our checklist so that when they come back in for their next workout, we have a good working list of priorities. And then the on the court work is flexible between either 2 individual workouts per month, or we have some workouts going on. Right now is Saturday nights, 6 to 7, where a lot of these guys have landed that works kind of throughout the year with the other stuff they have going on. And we also include 2 Dr. Dish sessions each month. So they can come in and just get some extra shooting reps. And this is also due for a price increase coming up in October. So it's our busiest season during the year, like during the basketball season, where we get 20 to 25 players doing this with us throughout the winter months. And so we're going to be raising the price. It comes out to $299 a month over 12 months, starting in October 1st. We will have a discount again, is $3,000 if you do it for a year in advance. And if you sign up before September 30th, you'll still be at the current price, and we kind of grandfather that in going forward. So $259 a month right now up until October 1st. The next add-on we have for you is the keys to the gym membership. This is something we developed going into last winter, and got a lot of traction with it. Of course, when the weather's nice, most people have a gym or a park or somewhere they can get outside. But we're expecting a big return of some of our renters last year, and we're trying to get some more awareness because a lot of people just don't know that we offer this. So this is our way to basically give you a key code to the gym so you can use it anytime, day or night, that we're not training. You get your own key code, you get access to the app where you can schedule an appointment for yourself, and basically get an hour reservation that would normally cost you $75 an hour if we had to staff it, and you can get it for roughly $25 an hour, depending on which tier you want to do. So you can choose a level up to 7 days a week. We do it by hours per month. So basically you get credits that you can then schedule. So the minimum is 4 hours per month, kind of expecting you once a week to be able to get in the gym. During January and February, when there's a lot of snow on the ground, we had a lot of demand for people wanting to do that. You can do roughly 3 hours a week on the middle tier, or like every day expectation, 30 hours per month. There's also a lot of big blocks of time that are empty. And so you could say, hey, we're going to come in for 3 hours and just like make the most of today and get a lot of gym time. The only real constraint on this for insurance purposes is it has to be family only. So you can't really do this and bring a friend, or, bring your own trainer or someone else in the gym with you because of how the insurance works. It needs to be family only, like they are your ward that is in the gym with you when you're doing that. And then the next one is our injury prevention training. So some of you know Coach Kelly from the past. He was on our coaching staff for 5 years and had his own business going, Postural Foundations. He eventually grew and needed to split off and focus on his own thing. And so we still partner with him to provide what he calls injury prevention training. Basically, I call it the complement to chiropractic work. So, where a chiropractor would go fix your bone structure, Kelly's working on developing your musculature to support your bone structure better so you're not out of alignment, and also just work on muscular symmetry. It's very common for our age group of players, 11, 12, 13 years old. They got a very dominant right hand and dominant left leg, and not so much on the other side. And so when they start getting into more physicality with bigger, faster players, they end up getting injured far more than we want them to. So this is kind of our way to, we called it bulletproofing at one point when he was working with all of our players in-house. Bulletproof your ankles and your knees so that you're not tweaking your ankle and, you know, injuring, spraining your knee and being out for 6 weeks. Kind of the worst thing for our goal for basketball development is to have you on the sideline with 6 weeks of trying to heal an injury. And so we offer that through Kelly. It's $1,200 value. We offer it as a package for $9.99 if you sign up for 3 months. Kind of in sync with the Confidence Formula program is how we think about that. He also offers, ad hoc services to just do an evaluation or do, once a week, lighter intensity, depending on what you need. But we like to connect people with him if you have a need or an interest, and at least do an eval and see what he could do to help your player prevent injuries. Next up is just the Dr. Dish. So if you haven't used this before, it's great. We can get about 300 shots in 30 minutes and just get a lot of reps. And for parents that have a driveway and get tired of chasing the ball from the rose bushes down the hill, like this is great to come in and be able to maybe talk to your player, like give them some reminders and, have some camaraderie time and just get them a lot of reps. So we offer a package here of 6 sessions for 30 minutes, and normally it's $180, $30 a session, and we sell that package for $99. And then also we have that ad hoc. You can just book 30 minutes anytime through the Upper Hand app, or just text us and we can hook you up. It's $30 for 30 minutes, available anytime. So now we get to the big package. What I want to really talk to all of our seventh, eighth, and ninth graders about is the next year of training that we would like to do with you. So this premium package has evolved over time to kind of sort and filter the pieces that actually do produce the best results over the long term. So the formula is great for 12 weeks, but a lot of players will end that 12 weeks and go on and do something else. And when they come back, maybe 6 months later, they've lost a lot of ground. So this is kind of our way to force the issue of progress, maintaining and continuing. And so basically the pieces we just went through are all packaged together and bundled at a discount. So we have the formula program. We have 12 months of the confidence warranty, which is that $36.95, the $299 a month over 12 months. And we have 3 months of the keys to the gym where you get your own gym code. So kind of intending that to be the 3 months of winter when you most need an indoor gym. You could get 12 hours in a month, roughly 3 hours a week. And based on our normal rental price, that gives you about $2,700 value. And then we'll give you 3 months of injury prevention with Coach Kelly, try to get those physical components working better and less prone to injury. And then we also put in 12 sessions of the Dr. Dish. So really intended there, because you're going to have the keys to the gym later in the year during our 12 weeks of the confidence formula getting started, just adding on 12 sessions of 300 shots. So you're looking at like 3,600 shots extra they're going to get by just repping that out. So all that comes to $9,954, which is kind of incredible. When we've built this over time. It was like a $5,000 package, and then we're like, well, they need this and they need that, and like we stack all this up. But I'm not really intending anybody to actually pay $9,954 because that would be kind of crazy for our New Hampshire numbers and most families. And I looked at, what could we discount it and make it still work, and how can we make the value make sense? And that came to like 6,667, roughly 33% off. But what I really landed at was all of that stacking up and the results that we can get. What I really want to offer it for is $0. And so this is my pitch this week is we're going to be doing a drawing for a giveaway of this whole package. So we're going to give you a whole year of basketball training, entering a drawing for the Confidence Formula Premium package. and valued at that 9,954 number. And so we're going to give this away for free to somebody. And we're asking you to try to help us find, the people that are the right fit for that this could really help. And so when you enter, you get, one ticket in the raffle essentially. But if you find someone else, share it to them, and they sign up, we have a field for them to put your name in as the person that sent you to us. And you get another ticket in the raffle when they sign up. And so we're compounding that. So you could get 10 friends to sign up and you got 11 entries. And we're going to cap it at 100 people entered to win. So one out of 100 chances is going to get 10 grand of training over a whole year. And so I'm pretty excited about that. You can go to playpracticebasketball.com/drawing. The page is there with some explanation. I'm going to be putting up a video probably tomorrow, and you can fill out the field and enter yourself in the raffle. We'll see if we actually get up to 100 entries. It'll be interesting. Any questions so far? I went through a lot, kind of packed around the confidence formula. Chris or Beth, I know you guys are kind of coming up, at least with Andrew, coming up to the point where the formula would make sense. I think Willie's probably there, whether it fits in with all he's got going on or not. But any questions for me, Chris, from your side?
Yeah, I'm just curious, and you might have just gone through this and it just went over my head because there was a lot in there, a lot of different packages. But with the confidence formula,
Yeah.
1,800 bucks if you sign up by, I forget what the date was already, September.
Yeah, that's coming up. So we're 2 weeks out tonight actually from the launch. And so that cutoff is the $1,800 is kind of ending tomorrow.
Okay.
But we have the payment plan available for that. Let me go back up to it here. So 1999 is what it comes to with the payment plan, but we're still honoring like 1,800 has been our normal pricing this summer, and we're just changing that going into the later half of the fall. So
Hmm.
if you want to do it, then we'll work with you. Like just give us the verbal that you want to go forward, and you'll have the original pricing here, and we can work it out how you want to pay for it. We do offer usually a 3 pay, over 3 months of the 12 weeks, we can break that up.
Yeah. I think this probably makes sense for Willie. Group format Tuesdays and Thursdays starting September 2nd.
Yeah.
Um,
Remind me, is he going into ninth now or is he going to eighth?
no, he's going into eighth.
Okay.
So I guess like
Hmm.
I know that you had mentioned, and when I start talking, I don't want it to seem like I'm being arrogant or anything, but like
No.
you've seen him a few times at this point,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
we definitely take advantage of the free programs that you've done just to sort of, suss out like what are some different things he can pick up in like an hour with you, et cetera, et cetera. And
Yeah.
he really enjoys those times. I don't know that, and
It's hard to
you
tell
could
reading
throw
it.
the moniker "you get what you pay for" at this, but like the competition that shows up for those things is just, it is what it is. But Willie has like for instance, we went to the rebounding one, and he has a real easy time like rebounding versus the other kids that show up to those things. So I'm
Yeah.
just
We have
curious,
some,
like in
we have some
your
really small, lightweight kids in that rebounding class. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. So
Yeah.
I just
Well, I
curious,
think
like
I forget. I'd have to look at his numbers from his evaluation he did a while back, but I believe he was a blue sock, if I'm recalling.
man, I don't even remember. I
Yeah.
don't even
Well, I
know.
mean, yeah, I mean, I might let him try both. Like, we've got a mixed bag in that seventh, eighth grade boys group, but we've got a lot of like 6 foot lanky athletes in the ninth and 10th grade group. And so,
Yeah,
like, he might get a little bit of benefit from both. He might be a little
yeah.
overwhelmed and like getting his stuff blocked every minute in the big group and might be too easy in the younger group. So
I think
keep
yeah,
in
no,
mind, like, if you guys want to do it, I'd say like, hey, let's come to both on a Tuesday and a Thursday, and we can kind of calibrate that over time and see, kind of what works for him.
yeah, that makes sense. That sounds good actually. I mean, I'd almost prefer him continually get his stuff blocked than just,
Yeah,
you know,
it's not very fun in the moment, but it does kind of produce the most accelerated progress.
yeah, helps him think
As
about
long as he's
creative
got the
ways.
right mindset around it. But the other thing I guess I pride myself on to some extent is kind of giving the best players a handicap so that it's not overwhelming if there's a big disparity, you know. So it might be like I'm gonna give this 6'4" kid, you know, only one dribble in this game,
Hmm.
and you know, Willie's got a better chance of guarding him, and you know, Willie's got maybe two dribbles or more when it's his turn on offense, and like try to equal that out as much as we can. But
So how does it work? Like how many kids are in these Tuesdays and Thursday sessions? Like is it
we usually cap it at 10. Right
yep.
now we're at 7 in the ninth, 10th grade boys, and I believe 4 in the 7, 8th right now.
Hmm.
So we got a few people like making the decision, you know, in the next couple of days, if they're going to jump in. And
Hmm.
so, yeah, I mean, I like to have 8 because we find there's always a date or two when, you know, 1 or 2 players are out. So having a minimum of 6 makes it really good for the competition.
Hmm.
And we're able to play 3-on-3 and kind of build all the different team tactic stuff into it.
Yeah. What's like the format? Like are you doing like a skills portion and then scrimmages or what's
It's yeah, it's I guess it's pretty evenly balanced. I think about it like kind of the sine curve. Like my mentor of mine actually drew this out like a sine curve of heart rate at one point where it's like, hey, we really want to play first and like get the heart rate up. We don't want to do boring stretches, right? Where
sure.
most practices start and players show up late and coaches can't figure it out. It's like, well, whoops, I missed the boring stretch part. Sorry, I'm late. But yeah, it's like, you know, we usually go game and then like break down based out of game. So I'm more and more trusting my process that's evolved of like let them discover the problem first before I kind of give them a solution versus like I could get on my soapbox and, you know, say, hey, we're gonna work on layups tonight and here's all the pieces of a layup, blah, 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 blah. My brain can go wild with that. But it's like they think they know how to do layups until it's like play one-on-one with one dribble against a 6 foot guy and you got blocked 3 times in a row and now they're like please give me a solution. Then we can talk about tools and you know that just flows a lot better. So it's kind of that oscillation is how I really think about it. It's like let's play a game, discover a problem, fix a problem, play again, test our solution to the problem, and then you know next. And that could be like a 10 or 15 minute cycle.
Hmm.
So, you know, in an hour, we're usually getting a couple of one-on-one scenarios and a couple of team tactic scenarios. And then, you know, between the 2 nights, I try to lean more heavily. Thursday night is like more team competition focused, and Tuesday night is more like individual skill. But it's a lot of mixed bag of, you know, competing, like just applied skills is, I guess, the general category I would put it in there.
Cool. And that runs through just based on the timeline here through November, basically.
Yeah, right to right up to tryout time, really, for the middle school guys, especially. It'll hit November, I want to say 13th is the Thursday, final day of it. I think
Mhm.
tryouts tend to happen that following week,
Yeah.
right
Yep.
before Thanksgiving happens.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I'd love from what I've seen of Willie, I think he would really thrive in that. I'd love to have him.
Yeah, no,
BJ, oh,
Yes.
go ahead, Chris.
no, go ahead, Beth. I've dominated the conversation.
No,
Sure.
I just had a question more about like your 4 week offerings because I
Yes.
saw that you had, I don't know, is September like sniper or something?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna get to that next. I was
I just was curious, like, if it's kind of one size fits all. Are they, because I thought when I looked, it kind of said certain level of sock for certain things. And
yeah.
if Andrew was just going to do like a 4 week program, what would be a next natural fit?
Yeah, I think shooting would be the next one. So like the sniper is one of my favorites. Like I think I have a very contrarian approach to shooting that, you know, is different than a lot of coaches and what a lot of players hear. And so, you know, I really like getting results really quickly with like just some more power first. Kind of the approach is power and precision is how I talk about it and you know show it to the players. And so I think even from what I saw with Andrew today is like, you know, he's fairly strong, but I don't think he's coordinating his strength to really deliver it into the ball very well. So like he can't shoot from very far, even though he's a fairly strong kid.
Sure.
And you know, I think footwork's definitely helped him. I think with that, we've been doing some finishing and some of the ball handling. So like I think those skills are all okay. I think shooting is probably like the leverage priority for him that you know would help him make a jump forward. Uh,
Okay.
so if you give me a minute, I'll actually scroll down here and jump into the 4-week
And
course.
Chris, go ahead with whatever questions you had
Yeah,
with
do you have
the.
another question, Chris?
I don't think so. No, I didn't realize there was another part to this. So let's hear out the rest of
That's all
it.
right. Yeah, there's wait, there's more. Had to assemble a massive slide deck today so I could talk about the raffle and the big prize that we're putting together. All right, so the 4-week focus is the general category. I've tried to get more clear on my terminology to try to not make it too confusing, but we have 7 courses that are all in the same format, and our tagline is we help player develop skills that stick. So like my least favorite thing is like skills and drills night at the average practice, where it's like huge group of kids, generic skill stuff, and we don't really have any thought of results. We're just like, I call it sweat and hope is like the industry standard where
Hmm.
kids show up, they run around, they sweat a little bit, and we hope for the best. Over
Hmm.
time, with enough volume and enough time, they'll hopefully get it. And that just drives me nuts. So anyway, our bundle for this is we can get 3 courses at a discount. So they're normally $425 each. We do a triple play bundle where you can do any 3 courses and you get 12 Dr. Dish sessions with it. So basically, it comes out to like $1,635 you get for $11.99 with the Dr. Dish built in. And the most frequent question we get about that is, do we have to use them all at the same time? And no, you can purchase them all together and then use them, over any course of time. We usually try to limit within 12 months because your player's probably progressing and they're going to be wanting to do different stuff by the end of 12 months as they keep ramping up. And then I always like to tie back to the results. We have a money back guarantee. So for like the sniper, we say if you don't get 10% more made shots and shoot from 10 feet deeper range, then we'll give you your money back. And that's really the best result we can tie ourselves to really make sure we're doing the right work and making sure the right players are in that program that can make that kind of jump. So, more specifics for the month of September. So, we actually have, because of logistics between staff and calendar, we are starting this one on August 30th. So, this is our Saturday program for September called the Layup Maker. And we say we help your player develop Jedi Master level control so they can feel confident using any hand, any foot, anytime. And so, really, this came out of talking to a lot of undersized players like Andrew where they just really struggle around the basket and they're frustrated. And it's really like coaches have only given them one finishing option. It's like, this is a layup. So really we have 32 different finishes and we talk about it from like 5 angles around the basket, having 6 different options and like putting all those together to where it's like any hand, any foot, any time is like, there's somebody in my way, but I got this other option. I can figure it out and come up with some option to score. So in addition to Saturdays, we also have this available in a one-on-one customized schedule. The pricing's the same. The only difference is when you do one-on-one, we do a half-hour session. So it's just more narrowly focused. We found with an hour individually, they're like, I can't, I can't mentally remember what we did at the first 5 minutes by the end of the last 5 because I guess the mental intensity is just there. And so we do an hour with a group where, honestly, I prefer to do a group nowadays because, like we were just talking about with the formula groups, like we get built-in competition and application. So it's like there's an upper limit to one on nobody where, another kid, same size and skill levels trying to guard me while I do this. Finishing technique is just, way more valuable in translating and making it stick to really make it work in a game. Next up is on Wednesday night, starting September 3rd, is the Footwork Fanatic. And this is our most common start point for players. This is the one that Andrew's doing right now, of course. Kind of where we start everybody in the green sock category, just get their first layer of footwork in all different scenarios working, and then we can build up from there. So Wednesday, 6 to 7. And again, this is also available in a one-on-one format as needed. The Sniper. So this one begins September 4th. This will be with me on Thursdays, 5 to 6 p.m. We also have it available one-on-one as needed. And I just talked about our guarantee here is 10% more makes and shooting from 10 feet deeper range. So like Andrew's at like maybe 12 to 14 feet right now, effective range. And we want to get him out behind the 3-point line to where he can actually make 3-pointers and make it comfortably with enough strength and power to make that happen. So we have actually a special going on. I tried to copy my printed out card I made for our workshop we handed out this week. This actually ends tonight, or tomorrow night, the 20th. But basically, the $400 package for the group program, we are doing a special for the sniper because we find a lot of people need help with shooting this time of year headed toward their fall season. We decided to bundle a bunch of stuff in here. So what's included in the course, we do a preview to start each week. I call it priming the brain. We show them what we're going to do and why we're doing it that way before they ever hit the court so that we have less talk, more action when we're on the court. We do our stats and video recording so they have a practice database, I call it. After their workout, they can go watch themselves in action and hopefully get some more out of retaining it and practicing it at home by watching themselves. And then we have a quiz. And so the sniper special, let me go to the next slide here. The sniper special, we're going to include a 4-pack of Dr. Dish credits. That's normally $120 value. We're going to include 1 hour partner workout. So this would be like one-on-one training outside of the normal group schedule in addition. And we're asking you to bring a friend so that they can basically get another layer on the sniper content with a good buddy in their face playing against them and kind of get another layer of reinforcement of that. And we also like to incentivize you to bring friends because that's how we find a lot of our best clients. And then we're also throwing in a discount pass to purchase another 4-week course at 50% off. So typically they're $425 for the individual and they're $400 for the group classes. So you basically get $200 off of any other 4-week course that you want to buy. And again, that would be good for any time in the next 12 months, as long as you buy it in August. That's what we're setting the limitation on. And again, also available one-on-one. The bonus pack, if you sign up before midnight on, it says Friday, that's actually supposed to be Wednesday the 20th. The discount code is Sniper Special at checkout. So if you go to playpracticebasketball.com/sniper, enter Sniper Special, that'll give you the discount. It'll actually show a $1 discount. So the normal is $400. It'll show $399, which I listed up here. That's just our trigger that you are buying this package and has this other stuff rolled into it. So playpracticebasketball.com/sniper. Sniper Special is the code. Any questions about those 3? Those are our 4-week courses that are coming up here in September. No. Chris shaking his head. I can't see Beth, but she's silent, so I'm trusting.
I don't have any questions. Sorry, I can't figure out how to show myself, but I can talk. So
that's all right. Thanks. Good checking in after I fly through stuff. All right, next up is a lot of our 3x3 stuff we have going on. So we're going to be doing a tournament on October 12th again. We just did one last weekend on the 10th of August and had a really good turnout. We had actually a girls team from Maine. They came and played in like the 16U just kind of co-ed division, and we had a team from Lawrence, Mass that ended up winning it, and we had a bunch of our guys training and some of our high school players. So it was really good mixed bag of competition. We had a lot of fun. So we're going to be doing girls 2 to 4 p.m., boys 12 and under 4 to 6, and boys 16 and under from 6 to 8. And we do this for free. We're trying to like spread the gospel, as I call it, about 3x3 basketball. It's just my favorite way to coach without saying a word because we have the shot clock and the constraints and the rules and the pace is just so good for ignoring mistakes and getting that next play mentality. I just love it. I like to play it myself. We'd have a dad's league I'll get to in a second, but just getting players comfortable with that format and playing with a shot clock, I think is really good for a lot of the concepts we are working on more intentionally with our training to make faster decisions and take better shots and like all the good pieces of basketball. So the 16 under pickup league, we're going to be doing this on Sunday. So this is actually included in our confidence formula program. So for Willie, Chris, he would be eligible to come to this. It's pretty cheap. Aside from that, you could drop in. It's $12 a week, or it's $110 for the 10 weeks we're going to run it. Basically in sync with the confidence formula, right through mid-November. And this is really where a lot of our confidence warranty players that are in high school, like they'll come and see us twice a month with their workouts, but then they come and play, especially during the fall. If they don't have a weekend team they're playing on, they'll be there competing. And like we get a really good um, different levels of players from eighth grade up to, 10th grade JV players in high school. And you can come solo or you can bring a squad. We kind of treat it like pickup style. Whoever's there, we'll try to get the best matchup of teams and just go at it. And this starts on Sunday. Actually, it's the 7th. I think I wrote it wrong here. September 8th is a Monday. Starts September 7th. Be Sundays 4 to 6 p.m. going through the fall. The Dad's League. So, Chris, if you want to get some game action, this is our 3x3 right after the boys play. I'm usually there watching, kind of taking notes with some of the players in training. And then we get a group of dads that are kind of the old heads of basketball. I put on here if you have a bad knee and nostalgic about Larry Bird, this is where you belong. This is
Love
the guys that we come with our built-in excuses. Like I got a bad knee, he's got a
it.
bad back. So like if we don't have a good game, it's like we got some outs for ourselves.
Yep.
But similar pickup style, we charge $12 to drop in, and we make this 1 hour. So the boys are 2 hours. Dads, we've arrived at 1 hour at this pace is enough. Like we're
Hmm.
calling it quits. We're out of wind after an hour. So a lot of fun. It's kind of my play date. I invite other dads, so I get a chance to play. 3x3 Ignition League, kind of going down the skill level. So like the 16 under we just talked about would be like our blue socks and higher. We would push them towards Sundays. And then Monday night, a little lower skill level, 13 and under, and more developmental league. So Sunday is really going to be just games. Like we have a ref there, but it's like go, go, go. Players figure it out. We're not doing much coaching. Monday, we're doing more developmental instruction. So we're kind of doing more like the confidence formula sine wave I talked about. We're playing a 10-minute segment in this format, and then we're breaking down some stuff, trying to build up both the individual skill and some of the team tactics. And this is now one of our longest running programs, just continuous every month, year round, Mondays from 5 to 6:30. And we have it available as either a 4-session package or a drop in for $44. And this tends to fill up a lot during the fall and winter as kids are getting ready heading into their season. It's a great way to just get the ball in their hands. So we play rarely more than 3-on-3. We're playing 2-on-2 and 1-on-1 and 3-on-3, kind of mixing that up. Try to get them different looks at different skill applications in different situations, kind of just flesh out what basketball looks like competitively for some of our more beginner players. And then our lowest tier is now the Exploration League, designed for 7 to 10-year-old skill level. Again, year round. And I drew this model a while back that made me really happy because I really see players do this a lot where they're exploring is like their happy place, right? They're figuring stuff out, they're being challenged, they're having fun. But some of them will be like in their 5th grade rec league and gosh, nobody else here knows how to play basketball. This is terribly boring. I'm the best player here. Or they'll go like, we're gonna play at the Spartans AAU team, and they're like, oh my gosh, those 2 kids tried to kill me in a trap full court press, and I'm overwhelmed. And so, we try to find that happy medium and keep them kind of leaning forward, exploring is my favorite thing for that age group. So this is also year round. We do kind of a monthly 4-week session cycle. It's always Mondays at 4 to 5 p.m. and it's $99 a month or a $30 drop in. And coming up in September, it'll be the 8th to the 29th. And we have 7 spots left. We usually cap it at 10 players, somewhere around there, one coach, and a lot of game action, even more so probably than the Ignition League. We're just letting them play and kind of discover and explore basketball in pieces, is what I call it. So without overwhelming them with 5-on-5, we can get a lot done in a 2s or 3s kind of setup. Last thing I threw up on here is our a la carte option. So some people like be in between stuff. I can't really do the 12-week or the 4-week right now on a schedule. So like I just want to do one workout, maybe before my tryouts. And so we have maintenance sessions. It's a little higher price point, basically because we have to do more work of talking if we don't have the video curriculum kind of streamlining the player's mentality. And so it's a little more customized. We might talk to you beforehand and like collect some ideas about what they want to work on and customize it. So it's $250 an hour. You can do a half hour for 125 or 60 minutes for 250. And you can do that one-on-one or with a partner. Basically, we found our coaches are less worn out. If you bring a partner, we can get them coaching. We can coach both players better and get them a better matchup than if they were playing against a coach, if we're trying to get some competitive aspects going. Next, I went too fast. Next is the practice pod. We developed this coming out of COVID. Basically, choose your own group and choose your own schedule. So 4 or more players. We'd like to do it on a 6 week cycle. We can also customize that a little bit. Some people do 4 weeks because it fits between something, or they'll do 8 weeks because they want to stretch it. Basically, it comes down to $45 per player per hour. So we can kind of mix and match that. But great way to get like a team or part of a team that want to just get some training together. Maybe they can't get their whole squad or their coach is not in action yet in the fall, but can pull 4 players together and get some stuff going. And then I mentioned earlier on the Dr. Dish slide, we also have the Dr. Dish, just a single session. You can pull up the Upper Hand app and just purchase and book that anytime during our training hours, which are roughly 3 to 8 p.m. on weekdays and 12 to 6-ish on weekends, depending on the day and our 3x3 league format. So that's it. That's my list of all the things. You guys have any questions for me? We are recording this, so any questions that come to your mind are probably on the minds of several other people. So if you can verbalize that, you may benefit several other people that watch this later.
With that practice pod, BJ, are you giving instruction at that, or
Yeah,
does it work? Oh,
we
okay.
are. So we kind of, we'll kind of pull we call it the cat herder position. Whoever's pulling the group together is like herding cats, figuring out the players and the schedule and the carpool to make it work. And so we'll usually talk to that point person and say, hey, what's the dynamic of the group? What are they struggling with? Give us some ideas to work off of. And whatever you can give us is great, but without that, we'll kind of put them through a couple tests and some games and kind of figure it out on the fly what they need. But yeah, very much instructional based. We kind of take more of a skill development approach there and intentionally slow down and break stuff down, and then depending on the numbers and the matchups, we'll try to get them at least some 2-on-2 as a group of 4, and maybe working on ball screens or defending ball screens one week and just like rep that out and get some game action out of some situational play.
Cool. It's
Yeah.
kind of
BJ,
Awesome.
I had a quick question about your Ignition League, and
Yes.
I know the answer is probably no, but I was just curious if like Andrew has a commitment at 6:30 on Mondays, and like would there ever be feasibility for him to participate like 5 to 6 rather than 5 to 6:30?
Yeah, I would be okay with that. We've had some other people that, once in a while people have a conflict. They got to leave late or they got to leave early or they got to come a little bit late. Like we try to make that flexible. So like we're not going to hold it against him like a team coach practice would. Like we usually have enough numbers that we can facilitate competition. And, if he's got to bounce out a little early, then, that's fine with us.
Okay,
If
I just
that
didn't
works.
want it to like
Yeah.
affect participants, or I
Yeah,
didn't
well,
know
I
how
think
it was structured.
especially this time of year when we have a bigger group potentially, I think it's less impactful. If we had like 4 guys and he had to leave, we were left with 3, then it might
Right.
affect our ability to play 2-on-2 or whatever we had in mind. But
Okay.
yeah, I think that would be really good for him. An additional
Yeah, I think like he likes the competition piece of it. So yeah, let me chat with him about it. It's just that unfortunately it's like it'd be a hard stop for him at 6.
yeah, gotcha. Yeah, we'll talk about it, see if that can work for him. I definitely think that would be a really good benefit for him to get the ball in his hands competitively more often.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
with that
Cool.
3-on-3 tournament on October 12th.
Yes.
I could just drop Willie off essentially, and you'd throw him on a team. Like,
Yeah.
how does
So
that
we
work?
have a sign up in advance, but yeah, if he comes solo, then we'll just match him up. We call it Skittles, people from different teams, different color jerseys usually. We'll throw them all together and say, "Hey, you guys are a squad," and figure it out. I think there's always a benefit to having some team chemistry with your buddies if you can,
Sure.
or even one friend that want to play together. But yeah, totally fine to drop him off and let him figure it out on the Skittles team if that's what works for you.
That's kind of neat. Yeah, no, man, you went through I didn't realize how many programs you offered. It's crazy.
I'm always trying to simplify. Why we've kind of arrived at the evaluation process is for that reason. It's like I could tell people about all the things we have, but it's really like, okay, eval, you're a blue sock, you're going into eighth grade. We need to do the confidence formula to really ramp you up to high school. So like, that's the thing. I don't have to tell you everything under the sun if we can point you in the right direction, right?